Hello, I'm talking about something different today. My name is Hunter, although you probably already know that. I'm doing this project for my Introduction to Exceptionalities class. This is my final exam where I had to choose a disease or disorder that it most interested me and kind of explain it to people who might not know about it. So I chose Rett syndrome. And what Rett syndrome is a unique and rare genetic mutation and a neurological disorder that is seen exclusively in girls. You may have heard, if you look it up, that there are some cases in males, but they do not typically make it past birth, or they may die in the womb, which would require an abortion. Let's see. So Rett syndrome affects all body movement, including motor coordination, the use of your hands, like picking up a pillow, picking up a pencil, or even writing. You may have the inability to learn how to speak, so you are struggling with your language. You may not be able to speak at the age that you should be able to speak at, or you may not even be able to speak in general. You can also have a difficulty walking or the loss of ability to walk, which is often why some children are seen in wheelchairs. The symptoms can vary depending on the type. There's atypical and typical, and depending on the stage. There are 4 stages within Rett syndrome. It can include loss of speech, scoliosis, breathing issues like sleep apnea or breathing issues in general, perhaps asthma, or even a complication like cystic fibrosis. I'm not quite sure on that one. Loss of mobility. You can have seizures, which are also known as Rett episodes. Loss of muscle tone, and like I said before, the loss of the use of your hands. Rett syndrome is diagnosed by a doctor or a physician, and it is done by a physical exam, which the doctor will collect detailed information about the child's development, how they've been growing, what milestones they may or may not have been hitting, and medical history as well. A diagnosis can also include a genetic DNA blood test, a urine test, and different types of imaging. There is no cure for Rett syndrome, unfortunately, but there are various treatments to help manage the symptoms and prevent complications that may arise and improve the quality of life in a patient with Rett syndrome. It includes medications like laxatives, sedatives, vitamins such as folate, and anticonvulsants to help with the Rett episodes. It includes therapies such as speech therapy, occupational therapy, and physical therapy. You would need to see a nutritionist, so you would need that nutritional support. And in some cases, you may need surgery, which would be a gastrostomy. And you also need to see specialists such as the occupational therapist, a neurologist, your local pediatrician, a medical geneticist, speech therapy, and a cardiologist, as well as physical therapist and a nutritionist. Unfortunately, there are not a lot of cases for Rett syndrome, with only about 1,000 U.S. cases per year. And even though there are a lot of difficulties that are associated with Rett syndrome, life expectancy for someone who has this disorder can be well into their middle age, which can be anywhere from their 40s to their 50s. There isn't a lot of research, like I said, so there's not a lot of more information about somebody living into their 40s and 50s with this syndrome. That is all I have, and I really, really hope that you guys enjoy this and kind of learn a lot about Rett syndrome. I will provide a link with all of my sources, so that way you can access that and find more information. Hope you enjoy.